In this video, we will be covering variables and their types. Variables and their values are one of the cores of any major programming language. They allow values to be set, filled, stored, altered, manipulated, passed, and displayed. Like many script languages, JavaScript is a typeless language. By that, it means that you do not need to define the type of a variable. So if you set a variable to a number, you can then change it to a string, Boolean, or object at your leisure. To define a variable, all you have to do is type the keyword var, the name of the variable, and this variable now exists, though its value is still undefined. Requirements in the naming of a variable is that it doesn't start with a number, so this would be an invalid variable, and that it starts with a string or text. This would still be a valid variable. You can still have numbers and, in some cases, symbols in the string, but it must start with some sort of string. Once a variable is defined, you can set it to a value. These values come in a few categories. Boolean, which is true or false, true or false. A number, which can be an integer of up to very large size. A float, which simply means that it has a decimal point to it, or a floating point, which is simply another way of defining large or small numbers, or inversely as a very large or a very small number. You can also define strings. Strings are defined with a set of double or single quotes. Either work in JavaScript, and they are fairly universally interchangeable. You can also define it as a function, or as an object. Which the function and object we'll be covering in more detail later. The other possibilities, you can set it to what is called a null value. So unlike undefined, which currently the first variable here, the name of variable, is currently undefined, so it has not ever had a value set to it. You can also set it to a null value. Null one. Null is defined as the lack of a value. This is the end of the variable video. In the next video, we will be covering operators.